This conference will now be recorded.
Om Gurave Namah. 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 Today's topic is Yana Vanta Yoga. Yana Vanta Yoga is from the word Yana, and we are going to study the word. We're going to study the etymology. And basic idea is before doing this yoga, we need to have a clear understanding of Shukra. Of course, you are Jaimini scholars, you are going third year of Jaimini, you all know Shukra, you know so much about Shukra. But still then, just for your benefit, I will go through the basics again, okay? And we'll understand a little about the nature of Shukra, nature of Venus. We'll check the rotation and the revolution. You know, all planets are doing parikrama of Surya. So we will study that. What is that called? That is a revolution, right? So we're going to study the revolution of Venus as well as the rotation and understand this rotation of Venus and how Venus is rotating and how it is revolving around the sun. And then we'll see the Jala Tattva control and the source. We need to know this. If we do not know the Tattva control and the source, Yanavanta Yoga, we will never understand. So Yanavanta Yoga is based upon this rule. It is Jala Tattva control and the Jala Tattva source. And it is very, very important thing because we are all created from Shukra. All of us. We are all created from Shukra. Shukra is our creator. You see, Rajas Guna has two parts, no? One is Venus and one is Mercury. And from Venus, which is the Jala dominant part, all the animals are born. And from Mercury, which is the Prithvi dominant part, all the plants are born. What is the fundamental difference between the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom? After all, Prithvi and Jala are the dominant part of all our bodies. If you look at the plant, you look at the animal, you will see within the plant there is Jala. There is, you can see the sap which is going up and down inside the plant. So the Jala Tattva is there inside the plant, but there is also solid bark. You can feel the trunk of the tree, you can see the stems, you can see the leaves, you can feel them. Anything that you can feel which is solid, which has a shadow, you know, there is a shadow created when the light will fall on Prithvi Tattva. When a Jala Tattva light can pass through water, you know, it can pass through water, especially clean water. So Jala Tattva really can diffuse the light, it cannot block it completely because it is not dense enough. Whereas Prithvi Tattva is very dense, it can block the light. So they say that Prithvi Tattva is highly inimical to Agni Tattva. Why is Prithvi Tattva inimical to Agni Tattva? Very simple. Prithvi Tattva is standing on the way of Agni. When a ray of light is coming, Prithvi is standing on his way, and the light is falling on Prithvi Tattva, and a shadow is coming. That shadow is Sunny. Surya said, look, I am sending light. From where did Shani come? Because Prithvi Tattva is standing on the way, that is why there is shadow. And so what is causing the shadow? The Shani, the sorrow. It is the light falling on Prithvi Tattva that is casting a shadow, which is the Shani. And this shadow is falling on Mother Earth. Because the shadow is falling on Mother Earth, you will see that this shadow is catching the earth. It is falling on earth. It is falling on the ground, and that is why it is catching the earth. And from there, Shani is coming inside us. So you see the peculiar relationship between Agni and Prithvi Tattva. They are deadly enemies. Prithvi Tattva will always block Agni Tattva, and because of that, Prithvi and Agni will have battle. Agni will want to go straight because he's always straight. Agni says, I will always go straight, I will not bend. And then Prithvi will stand on his way. So the difference between the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Plant kingdom has more Prithvi Tattva. They are more solid. They have so much Prithvi Tattva that they cannot move around. They are rooted to the ground. You see, what Prithvi does is it catches, it throws a shadow. I told you it throws a shadow and the shadow falls on the ground, and that is how our karmas get caught in the ground. Similarly, the Prithvi is what is rooting the person to the ground. We are rooted because of Prithvi Tattva. And the plants have too much Prithvi, lot of Prithvi Tattva. All trees, all plants, they have too much Prithvi. Because of this excessive Prithvi, they are more Mercury dominated. Mercury is creating them. When Mercury is creating them, he will put more Prithvi Tattva and use little water. Little Jala he is using. Whereas animals are all created by Jala Tattva. So there is a dominance of Jala Tattva and very little Prithvi Tattva. You take human beings. 75% of our body is Jala, water, and only 25% is Prithvi. So remember, the 25% which is Prithvi Tattva is blocking the light. So 25% of our body, which is the Prithvi Tattva, is actually inimical to Agni. It is an enemy of Agni. So Surya, Mangal, Ketu, they are all very angry with this physical body that we have. The solid parts of the body are coming under trouble because of Agni Tattva. Right? Too much of heat, too much of cold, fluctuations in temperature, it affects the body. It causes wear and tear of the body. Aging, how does aging happen? The sun causes aging, you know that, no? The more you stand on the sunlight, the more of sunlight you get. Too much of burning in the sun, you know, you will darken up, you will bake like a potato, you will bake and you will become dark skinned, very dark will become. That is largely because people say pigmentation and all those things, fine, that is all fine science, but broadly look at the holistic picture. Your Prithvi element is unnecessarily fighting the Agni. There is no need to fight it. 75% of your body is Jala Tattva, and this Jala is highly inimical to Vayu. So the problem is 75% of our body is troubled by Vayu and 25% of our body is troubled by Agni. So the Agni planets and the Vayu planets are called malefic planets. That is why you see all the Vayu planets, Saturn and Rahu, and all the Agni planets, Mars, Sun and Ketu, are all malefic. The malefic planets are all either Agni planet or Vayu planet. The reason you never asked was, why are they malefic planets? Why are Jala planets not malefic? Because we are created from Jala. This creation is 75% Jala, 25% Prithvi Tattva. That is the majority of the elements within us. Vayu and all are coming and going. Agni is there, energy is there. But if you see weight wise, body wise, how much of that? What is the weight of Vayu inside our body? Not even 0.5%. Agni is minuscule. How much energy we are having? So now you are able to understand why the rishis, what are Krura Grahas? Krura Grahas are those who are attacking us unconsciously. So who are the biggest enemies of the body? Since 75% of the body is water, so our biggest enemies are Saturn and Rahu. They are the Vayu planets. And 25% of our body is Prithvi. So Surya, Mangal and Ketu are also malefics. So which are the benefics? That means the Prithvi planets are benefics and the Jala planets are benefics. So fundamentally Prithvi, which is Mercury, and Jala, which is Venus and Moon. That is how they come. Ketu is a very peculiar planet. Ketu is the source of Prithvi, but it is basically Agni planet. So when as a source of Prithvi, it is beneficial for the body. Whereas as an Agni planet, it is not beneficial. So it has a double role. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is Akash. He is the sky father. He is good to everybody. But fundamentally, he is very good to the living being. That is why he is a Shubhagraha of the highest order. Now, we are very clear, Venus belongs to the Jala Tattva. So therefore, Venus is undoubtedly the most important planet for us. See, Jupiter is Akash, he's good for everyone. But among the benefics, Venus, Mercury, and Moon. Okay, Mercury is Prithvi Tattva, so 25%. Venus is Jala Tattva, 75%. Moon is a source of Jala. It does not control the Jala. So 75% of our body is controlled by Venus and 25% by Prithvi Tattva. So if you are a great rishi and you have to choose a mantra for protecting the body, for protecting the person, from which planet will you choose? It has to be Venus, because 75% weight of our body is Shukra, is Jala Tattva. And it is the same Shukra, the same Retas from the father, the Sthira Pitri Karaka, which is causing our birth. So therefore, the Mrityunjaya mantra has to come from Shukra. What are we doing with the Mrityunjaya mantra? We are only ensuring that the Jala Tattva is very, very strong. You observe, when somebody has cancer, whatever be the lagna, I tell them to wear diamonds. I only see which house Venus is and choose diamonds for the person to wear. That means irrespective of what your lagna is, Shukra is a solid benefit for you, no? It is Sansara Phala. And I tell them to do the Mrityunjaya, Om Jum Sa. Mrityunjaya came from the Akshara Ja. Cha, Cha, Ja, and Ja. Ja, Cha, Ja, Ja, Ni. These are 5 sounds of Shukra. So Cha is Vayu, Cha is Agni, Ja is Prithvi, Jha is Jala. So we picked up the Prithvi Bija. Why? Because we have a body. The water, the Prithvi Tattva and the Jala Tattva have to be in perfect harmony. So they picked up the Prithvi Bija inside Jala, Shukra. So that Ja is bringing Prithvi and Jala together. That is why Ja was picked up. And what did we do? We put control on that. Choto U, Laghu Bija, U. U is Mrityu. U is control, Damana, control. Stay there. Don't run away from my body. My body should not have shortage of Prithvi or water. So Jum plus the soul. Jum, 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 Jum. That's how the Mrityunjaya Bija was derived. With this basic, we are now getting to know more of Venus. We have to understand Venus as at its core. If we do not, then how will we appreciate the yogas that are formed by Shukra? So let us do a little study of the solar system that we have. You can see this beautiful picture in front of you. The sun is shining here, bright yellow, midday sun. Right next to him in this Mercury, brown in color. Then is Shukra over here. So from Surya, it is 1, 2, 3. It is the second from Surya. So if I count like this, first is Buddha, second is Shukra. Then there is a host of things happening around the earth. You see Lagna is here. Why Lagna? Lagna is on earth. No? Lagna is on the earth. It is the meeting, it is the horizon of the earth. So it is the on earth. Lagna is moving continuously on the earth. When you go away from the earth, this Lagna will not be visible to you. Say you are taking a tour and you are going off somewhere here in space over here. You will not have the Lagna. Lagna is a predominant feature of the earth. So Mercury, then we have Venus, then we have Lagna, but there is some Rahu Ketu over here and there is a moon over here. You see, Rahu Ketu are in this line. You see the earth sun line? There is a horizontal line between sun and earth. And there is this cycles of the moon. You can see this slightly grayish color, the cycles of the moon. That's why I put them in red, you know. And this point, this intersection point where this plane of the moon and earth, Earth Moon plane and the Sun Earth plane, where they're intersecting is, this is Ketu and this is Rahu. Why is this Ketu? Because when the moon comes here to Ketu point, after that it is going down. It is going below. This Earth Sun thing, it is going below that. Then he will come up. Then he will meet Rahu. Then he will start going up and enjoying Bhoga, Tyaga, Bhoga, Tyaga. When he is going down, he is not able to eat, he is not able to enjoy. When he is in the Bhoga, he is overeating and he is overcharging himself. So both are problems. Both are extreme positions in which actually when it is closer to the sun, you see, when it is closer to the sun, it is Ketu. When it is away from the sun, it is Rahu. So what is Rahu? The shadow of the earth is constantly falling on Rahu. Na? If you look at the sun and the earth, there is a shadow that is coming from the sun on earth. The earth is casting a shadow. This shadow of earth on this point, you know, where it is cutting the plane of the moon, that shadow point is Rahu. Therefore, Rahu is really the shadow. Ketu is only mathematically opposite point. So Ketu must be super light. So if I take a ray of light that is coming from the sun, Ketu is that light ray, whereas Rahu is the shadow. Ketu, therefore, is like Purnima. Rahu is like Amavasya. You see the point? Because Rahu is the shadow, is the darkness. So, and it is completely black in color, pitch black, hard shadow of the earth. So that is why Rahu is completely black, whereas Ketu is bright white light. So what is Moksha Karaka? This Moksha Karaka has the power to take us back to the sun. From the sun, that is back to God. Because the sun is God, no? All the planets are doing parikrama of the sun. They are not doing your parikrama or my parikrama. These grahas are all doing parikrama of Surya. You see that? They are all going round and round around the sun. So therefore, sun represents the power of God. He is so mighty that when he is shining, everybody else must hide their faces. Nobody can stand up when he's speaking. He is so mighty, so powerful. That is why he rules the day. So all of them, this whole lot, have got night, and this one has got the day. So Hora Shastra is about Surya on one side and all of them on the other side. So you can see that these planets up to Saturn are visible to the naked eye. See, they are bright. Then there is shadow. You can see a shadow color here. This Neptune and Uranus, they are not visible. They are very, very far. So Pluto and all, they are not visible to the naked eye. That is why we are not taking them into consideration. If we can't even see them, they are not even stars in the sky. What is the meaning of the word Tara Graha? Tara means star in the sky. So if you look at the night sky, these planets, because of the light of the sun that they are reflecting, they are looking like stars in the sky. That is the reason why they are called Tara, but they are called Graha. So they are like stars, but these stars are moving. Little stars in the sky are moving. So that is why they are Tara Graha, because they are moving. If they were not moving, they would not be Grahas. They would simply be Tara. So who are the Tara Grahas? We have this Mercury, we have Venus, and then we have Mars, and then we have Guru, and we have Shani. It is very interesting. Look at the order, check the order. So if I was, let us say, coming from outer space, I'm a soul who is coming from outer space. Narayan has sent me. Which is the first planet I will encounter over here? It should be Saturn, no? Right? So first I'm encountering Saturn, then I'm encountering Jupiter, then I'm encountering Mars, then forget the Earth, then Venus, then Mercury, and then I'm coming here. Now let us say, because of the rotations, I cannot come through Saturn. If I'm coming and Saturn is here, I have to go back. Saturn is not allowing me to come through. Somehow it is blocking my soul from coming. He's telling, no, no, you cannot come. Sorry, you are not allowed to enter this system. I am in charge of this system. I am the outer boundary of this system. See, these are boundaries, no? So Shani is going round and round and round. He's Shaurya. Shaurya. He is the child of Surya. So therefore, he is telling, no, I will not let you come in. And in any case, as soon as you come and you look at Shani, what will you see? Oh my God, this is Yamaraj over here. I don't want to come. So we wait for Shani to pass. He goes away somewhere over here, on the other side. And then we come to Jupiter. So we have the first planet we have to encounter when we come down is Jupiter. Then having come over here, we will encounter Saturn, because Saturn would have moved, let us say over here he has moved. So from Jupiter we go to Saturn, then from there to Mars, then to Venus, then to Buddha. What are the tattvas? First tattva we will have to encounter is Akash, then Vayu, then Agni, then Jala, then Prithvi. How interesting. The tattvas are in the order of the planets, excepting Akash and Vayu are interchanged. If I move Jupiter here and Saturn here, if I interchange the place of Jupiter and Saturn, these planets will exactly be in the order of tattva of creation. We are starting from Akash, then Vayu, then Agni, then Jala, then Prithvi, and then I am born. So that is why these 5 planets are also the Pancha Tattva, because one by one the tattvas were given to the soul. The soul was given first Akash, then Vayu, then Agni, then Jala, and then Prithvi. After that, he landed with the Lagna. Now, there is a Chandra out here and there is Rahu Ketu right out here. These are all. Now, since these 5, these 5, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, 3 outer planets, and the 2 inner, Mercury, Venus, they are Tattva Grahas. These tattvas must have a source, no? Everything must have a source. Like when we have water, you open the tap, you are getting water. But suddenly the water finishes. Why did the water finish? Because the water in the tank finished. So the source of water in the tap was the tank. So we always must check the source, whether it is giving the water or not, whether it is giving ample supply of the tattva. So supply of a tattva is always coming from something called a source, tattva source. Till now, most people only thought of tattva as a single planet. For example, Mars is the control of Agni tattva. He is controlling Agni tattva. What does that mean? He is telling how much of fire you can burn, how much of light you can consume. Otherwise, I will do power cut for you. Like that. That is Mangal. Power cutting is Mangal job. So these are all tattva. Tattva grahas, Tara grahas, who are the tattva grahas, are basically doing cutting job. Guru is ensuring that excessive Akash is not being used. You should not misuse the Akash tattva. You should use it correctly and wisely. Like that. Okay. But the source, where is this Akash coming from? The source is Lagna. It is Shunya, 0. You see, the number associated with the Lagna is 0. It is called Shunya. So the source of Akash is the Lagna, whereas the consumer of Akash is Jupiter. So if the Lagna does not have enough Akash, how can Jupiter get enough Akash? You see so who is giving the Akash Tattva to Jupiter to use? Lagna is giving it. Okay, very interesting. Now Vayu. Saturn wants a lot of Vayu. Why? He wants to run, he wants to breathe. You see, he can't walk. The poor fellow can't walk. Why he cannot walk? Why is he ambling? Because he does not have Vayu. Vayu causes movement. And see, the tattvas are based upon what you want. Saturn wants more Vayu. He wants more and more Vayu so that he can go faster and faster and faster. Look at the moon running. He looks at the moon running and he says, my God, look at this guy move. I cannot move at all. I'm like as good as stagnant. So what can cause movement? Vayu causes movement. So Saturn has only one desire. One. Give me more Vayu. So who does he go to? The source of Vayu, Rahu. Rahu, you are my dear friend, give me Vayu. Rahu says, okay, let me see how much Vayu I can give you. And you see, Rahu is a very cunning guy. So these two planets, Rahu and Saturn, are together ruling your life, your longevity. Saturn wants to give you long life so that you can breathe more and more air. Rahu says, sorry, I am giving limited supply. You cannot breathe forever. You will breathe for so many years, so many months, so many days. So who is really causing the death? Death is caused when the Vayu supply is ending. That is why Rahu causes death. Not the consumer. Vayu consumer is Saturn. Okay? Now think of Akash. Jupiter wants more and more and more Akash. Give me more and more and more knowledge. Give me knowledge of this, give me knowledge of that. I want to learn JSP, I want to learn PJC, I want to learn MSP, give me this knowledge. I want numerology. More and more. Jupiter is expanding, continuously expanding, and he needs huge amounts of Akash Tattva. But the Lagna is limited. And why is the Lagna limited? It is limited to the brain capacity of the animal. Number one, brain capacity. How much brain does the animal have? Two, and then given the brain and the Dhi Shakti, how much, again, from one individual to the other, it is different. Somebody has powerful Lagna, somebody has a weak Lagna. So if the Lagna is powerful, you are fortunate. If the Lagna is weak, you are unfortunate. So no matter how powerful your Jupiter is, Jupiter may be exalted in a horoscope. So what? I have seen people who are autistic, but Jupiter is exalted in their chart. So Jupiter wants a lot of Akash, but the Lagna is severely damaged. So do you see that? Now come to Agni. Who wants more and more power? Power. You see, Mangal is all about Agni, power, light, fighting power. Who wants it? Mangal wants it. Have you seen the defense budget in every country has started going up? It has gone to absurd proportions because Mangal puts huge amount of pressure on Surya. And the end, because Surya is the budget, and so he says, okay, I'll give you more and more, more and more, more, until the whole budget Mangal is eating away. There is hardly any other budget available for anybody else. Jala Tattva is coming from, the control of Jala is done by Shukra. Shukra is the driver, the controller is the driver. He is the charioteer. He is the one who's driving the vehicle. So as far as Jala vehicle is concerned, Shukra is driving the Jala vehicle. But who is giving the Jala? Who is giving? Moon is giving the Jala. Moon is the source of the Jala. You see, babies love everybody. Why? Because they have huge Jala supply. But as we become older and older and older and older, our Jala supply is going down and down and down. Chandra is very, very strong for babies. But after 1 year, it starts drying up. And then finally, when you are 50s and 60s, there is hardly any Chandra left. The lake is empty. The lake is dry. It is not like Mansarovar where the water is full. The lake is completely dry. From what will Shukra do? Shukra has become desperate. Shukra wants a little bit of water so that he can send a thank you card. He can send a I love you card. He can send a gift, send a small mobile gift, some this thing, that thing. No, Shukra has nothing left. No, Shukra, even if Shukra wants to do something, he cannot do anything if Chandra is not going to supply the water. Now come to Prithvi. We have an impossible situation. So you see, there is a continuous conflict between the source and the supply. This is something you have experienced in everyday life. You are the consumer of electricity, but ask your government, will they give you electricity all the time? They will give you. What are they doing? They are happily increasing the bill. So you are in pain. So you have to put the lights off. Otherwise, why should you put the light off? Why are we switching off lights? Why do we switch off air conditioners? So that the electricity bill doesn't go up. That means there is a way to control us by putting a price on that power. And you see, what about the water? Same way. In human beings, in everything in life, there is a continuous conflict between the source and the consumer. The consumer of Akash Tattva is Jupiter and the source is Lagna. Imagine a person who is studying from morning 4 o'clock till night 10 o'clock, is sitting in one chair and doing that day in and day out. What do you think will happen to the Lagna? The Lagna will get damaged. The Lagna will gradually get destroyed because you are consuming the entire Akash. How much Akash can the Lagna give? After some time, the health will start talking. Health bolega. Right? So same way, everything has a limit. So there is a struggle between the moon and Venus. It is a very interesting thing to understand these struggles. Okay, now
This conference will now be recorded.
as I talk more and more advanced of Gemini, I will also give more and more of the basics, because the basics are very, very important, but they are very complicated. To understand the basics, you know, it's like expanding. You are expanding both ways. On upside, you are getting more and more knowledge. You are growing taller and taller. Gemini sutras, one by one, the sutras are coming in, you're going taller. Similarly, you are growing under the ground also. So that is the balance. Going to the basics, going right to the basics of everything. The derivation of the tattvas. It was so important for you to know the derivation of the tattvas. Derivation of the tattvas is totally based upon the simple standing order of the planets on the basis of the distance from the sun. Right? Just that Jupiter and Saturn are exchanged. This is very important to keep in mind. You cannot enter without Jupiter. So Jupiter is the sky father. That is why Jupiter is ruling the sky father. Okay, we will come to that. And you see, Earth is the mother, right? Because the moon is with Earth, no? The moon is with Earth. That is why Earth is the mother. Why is Earth called the mother? Because the moon is basically with Earth. Lagna is Shunya, 0. So the total effect on the Earth is the moon's effect. So where is the mother? The mother is on Earth. Why? Because the moon is going around Earth. Moon is not bothered about others. So moon is on the Earth. And where is the father? The father is with Jupiter. So the Atma has to come to Jupiter, the sky father, and this sky father and the earth mother will mate. The mating of the sky father, earth mother. What is born? The one who is in between, no? The one who is in between the earth and Jupiter is Mars. That is why Mars is born. That is why Mars is called Bhumiputra, the child of earth. He is born from Mother Earth. When Jupiter and the earth are coming together, this is Mother Earth, that is Earth is receiving this energy of Jupiter, then this Bhuma is born, Mars. An enlivened being, a being with energy. Anyway, very, very, very interesting. I need you to think about these tattvas. Our focus was to understand Jala Tattva. Venus is the second planet from the sun and closest to Earth. Please keep this in mind. Now, in the previous slide, I told you that Earth is very close to the moon. So the source, the total moon influence is maximum on Earth. Among all these grahas, who is having maximum influence on Earth? Moon, because he is closest. After that, who is the second one? It is Venus, because Venus is the second most important, close, very, very close to us. So keep that in mind. Venus is very close to us and it has very powerful influence on the Earth. So it's responsible for transporting souls to the Earth via the moon. So the souls have to be transported via Venus. I see. So Venus is somehow able to transport the souls to the Earth. Now the souls came to Jupiter, to the father. And from the father, how did they come to the mother? From Jupiter, how did they come? They came to Venus and then they came to Earth. And then this was born. I see. So therefore, Venus is the intermediary. So Venus and Moon are both Jala Tattva. Keep this in mind. Venus is the consumer of Jala Tattva. Moon is the producer of Jala Tattva. Venus gets transport and delivery significations, and that is the Karakatva, because the first transport job he has done is transporting you. Who are you? Who are you? You are a soul. So how did you come here? You came inside your father. That is the only thing that we know, right? Before that, what you were, we don't know right now. You came inside your father. You came into the semen of your father. And from the semen, anyway, somebody brought you inside the semen and left you there. That semen came inside your mother. And that semen was transported. There is a transport happening. It has moved from one body to another. It has gone from one point to another. It has gone from Lucknow to Allahabad. Transport has happened. Gone from one place to another place. From the father to the mother, it has moved. Therefore, the first transportation that happened to you, your first experience of transportation was Shukra transportation. That is why Shukra is getting the department of transport and delivery. He has to transport you and deliver you also, na? Since he is transporting, he has to deliver also. Delivery is associated with transport. Let us say tomorrow you are ordering a product from Amazon. Somebody will say, oh, I gave that thing to the transporter. The transporter has to deliver it at your doorstep. Transportation means transportation and delivery. So for that, Karaka is Venus. So when people talk of things like logistics, what is logistics? Nothing but Shukra, pure Shukra. It is the second brightest object in the night sky after the moon. Wow. So the moon in the night sky, day is Agni, Surya. There is no doubt on the day. Absolute. Sun is shining, it is pure Agni. Night, what about night? There is no Surya in the night. So moon is the strong one. It must be Jal. So day is Agni, night is Jal. The moon, and the moon is the brightest object in the night sky. And the most important part of us is Jala, because we are 75% Jala. So therefore, moon must be given that position. That is why moon gets Jala Tattva. It is the brightest object of the night sky. And the consumer of that Jala, the consumer of that has to be given to Shukra, because after moon, he is the brightest, because he is closest. Simple logic. Shukra, the word Shukra means semen virile. It is a sthira pitrikaraka. Therefore, from the father to the mother, it is Shukra who was your father. Your father was Shukra, the one who carried you on his shoulders. He carried your soul on his shoulders. The entire genetic code he put with your that, and then he carried you. The word Shukra also has a meaning bright, radiant, shining. So Shukra is very bright, very radiant, shining. The skin is shining, Shukra. It is white in color, like a diamond. That is why white diamond is the real Shukra diamond. It is very, very pure, like Taurus, milk white. Taurus is milk white. Transparent white is Pisces. Milk white, Taurus. Transparent white, Pisces. Jyeshtha Masa. Jyeshtha Masa means the full moon is in Jyeshtha. So where is the sun? The sun is in Taurus. So therefore the word Shukra automatically means the sign Vrishabha, Taurus, the Jyeshtha Masa. Why? Because that is the hottest month. Did you know that Jyeshtha is the hottest month? Yes, that is Grishma. If you remember Grishma Ritu, let us go to Ritus. Let us go to the seasons. The first two seasons, Vedic seasons, are Shishira winter, going to Capricorn and Aquarius. The next two are Vasanta, the spring season, which is going to Pisces and Aries. Then the next two are Grishma, summer, the hot season, which is coming to Taurus and to Gemini. So therefore, Jyeshtha is given to Venus. Why does Jyeshtha, this Masa, Jyeshtha Masa, when the sun is in Taurus, it is very hot, no? Very, very hot. Why should Venus be given that? Because what happens when you become hot? You become thirsty. What happens when you become thirsty? You want more water. You remember water. I am thirsty. I remember water. Give me water. Please, I am dying of thirst. Give me water. You want Shukra. You are what you are telling is, please give me Shuddha Jala, pure water. If I give you salty water, you can't drink it. You want pure water. See, white, pure, Shukra Jala. Shukra Jala means white, the water in the river, the water in the lake, the pure water, the drinking water. Shukra. Dirty water is not Shukra. The source of water is Chandra. So the sea is the source of all water. So the sea must be ruled by Chandra, and it is salty water. So therefore, the difference between Shukra and Chandra must be the salty taste. That is why the salty taste is given to Chandra. Please go through this recording again. Not only am I talking about the Jala, I'm talking about differences. The Shuddha Jala, the pure water, purity is Shukra function. So therefore, the pure water, the clear water, crystal clear water goes to Venus, whereas the salty water goes to the moon, the ocean, the source of the water. And that source of the water, the salty water, that salty taste is a sign of moon. The taste of the moon must be salty, for that is the source of the seawater. Now, coming back to Venus, the hottest planet in the solar system is Venus. Venus is the hottest planet, not Mercury. Everybody thought Mercury is closest to the sun, so Mercury must be the hottest. Wrong. The rishis knew that Venus is the hottest planet. So therefore, the hottest month, which is Jyeshtha Masa, must be given to Venus. Taurus therefore is ruled by Venus because it is the hottest month. So what is the one thing that Taurus indicates? Drinking water. What does Venus indicate? Drink water. What does moon indicate? Eat food. Why? Food is salty, no? You need to put salt in order to eat it. All food has a little bit of salt in it. Whereas water is pure, non-salty. So Shukra fundamentally is the water. Chandra is the food. Now, after these basic derivations, now we are now understanding more and more why Venus is the lord of Taurus. Venus is the lord of Taurus because it is the hottest planet, and the hottest month must be ruled by Venus. Remember this, it is the ripening of the mango. When mangoes will ripen in India, that is the heat, that peculiar heat is called the ripening of the mango. That is Taurus. Venus can cast a shadow. You see, this Venus is a very peculiar planet. When it goes sometimes in front of the sun, the shadow of Venus can fall on the earth like a beauty spot. On the earth, it puts a beauty spot. If you look at the earth, it will look like beautiful, one tiny beauty spot is there on the earth. So therefore, it gives beauty spot on the body. So some people are having beauty spots on their body. Sometimes it is on the right, sometimes on the left. And depending, where the Shukra is putting the beauty spot. If it puts a beauty spot, that means the Shukra is having a very, very powerful influence in your horoscope. Because Shukra is able to cut the light of the sun and put its Jala protection over you. That is the meaning of the beauty spot. You see, the light of the sun is coming on Shukra and the shadow of Shukra is falling on the earth. It is like an eclipse, but Shukra is not big enough to cause an eclipse. To cause an eclipse, Shukra is too small. When the moon comes, moon is much closer to the earth. So when the moon comes between the earth and the sun, then he causes an eclipse. He causes what is called a solar eclipse. So Venus is also causing solar eclipse. Moon is also causing solar eclipse. Moon causes solar eclipse by coming between sun and earth. Similarly, Venus causes solar eclipse, tries to cause solar eclipse by coming between the sun and the earth. Then a shadow will fall on the earth. When the shadow will fall on the earth, a beauty spot will be there in the body. So therefore the shadow is, the beauty spot on the body is nothing but the protective shadow of Venus, because Venus wants to protect you. He created you. He's your creator. He's your Brahma. You don't know Brahma. You have not seen Brahma. But you know this much, that you were created from the semen of your father. So if that be so, then Shukra is your Brahma. Venus lies within the Earth's orbit, within the orbit of the Earth. He never appears far from the Earth. You see, it's what we call, you see, this is the Earth's orbit. This line, line number 0 is the Earth's orbit. And Venus and Mercury are both inside the orbit of the Earth and the Sun, whereas Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are outside. So these two planets are called inner planets. These three are called outer. So we have 2 inner planets and 3 outer planets. 2 insiders, 3 outsiders. Interesting, huh? So when we talk of insider and outsider, shall I take you one more step? Now think of these two, Mercury and Venus. They are insider, no? They are inside, no? What do you mean by inside? They are inside your skin. So inside the skin, your body is basically Mercury and Venus. 25% Mercury, 75% Venus. 25% Prithvi, 75% Jala. See, insider. That is why they are inside planets, because they are inside the body. These are outsiders. They are outside the body. Light is outside the body. There is no light inside your body, unless of course you think you are some kind of special avatar having some Brahma Jyoti inside. And then that can happen, Jupiter Atma Karaka, it can happen. So then this Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, these are all outsiders. Your intelligence, your knowledge, and all is coming from outside. You're breathing the air and all that you're breathing is all outside. This is all outsiders. All this Vayu, Akash, Agni, they are basically inside. Prithvi and Jal is all inside you. Inside is primarily Prithvi and Jal. So you are here. You are the earth. And what is it there on the earth? There is only one point on the earth, which is called the Lagna, the ascendant. So you are the Lagna because inside your body is Prithvi and outside is all this. Okay, that you think about again. I'll leave that for you to think. So Venus lies within the Earth's orbit, never appears far from the sun. That you know that by now, that much of Jyotish you know. Either setting in the west after dusk, when ahead of the sun. So if Venus is ahead of the sun, he is an evening star. What do you mean by evening star? That means before the sun sets, I mean after the sun sets, Venus is visible. How beautiful, huh? Or he is rising in the east before dawn, when behind the sun, called the morning star. Now there is a totally different thing between these two planets. Okay, between the morning star and the evening star. Okay, we will come back to this point. A quick recap. Shukra is the planet of Venus, controls Jala Tattva, birth of children. Just as you were born, your children will also be born like that. So how do we see children? We see Venus, 5th house. It is called Achhadana of Shukra. We are going to check this out. Source. What do you mean by source? Jala Tattva has a source. And what is the source of Jala? It is the moon, right? So moon is the giver of pregnancies. So pregnancy is happening because of the moon, but birth is happening because of Venus. So the pregnancy sustenance. See, birth happens at a point of time. When does birth happen? Birth happens at the end of pregnancy, not the beginning of pregnancy. If birth happens at the beginning of pregnancy, then it is called abortion. Okay? So first there is pregnancy for 9 months, then at the end there is childbirth. So what comes first, pregnancy or childbirth? Moon comes first. First pregnancy has to come. Without a source, how can there be a use? Without pregnancy, how will there be a child? So Chandra is the pregnancy, Venus is the childbirth. Excellent. This depends upon semen, male. Shukra is coming from the male, not from the female. The female has an egg, which is also Shukra, but there is a difference between these two Shukras. In the first one, the male one, Shukra has to go out. In the second one, nothing is going out. Egg is inside the body and is retained inside the body. That is the fundamental difference between the male Shukra and the female Shukra. So for the male Shukra, going out is 7th house, right? Going out is 7th house. Whereas for the female Shukra, it's not going out. It is the same house. How interesting. When a child is born, for a child to be born, Shukra has to leave the body of the father and go to the body of the mother. So Shukra has to go to the 7th house. For the man. For the woman, nothing is going. What is going? Nothing is going. The egg is very much there inside the body and it stays inside the body. It does not jump out here and there. Okay? So therefore, if I were to see it in a horoscope, for a man, I have to see 7th house from Shukra. For a woman, I have to see 1st house from Shukra. Again, I repeat. For a man, I have to see 7th house from Shukra. For a woman, I have to see 1st house from Shukra. For ability to have children. For finding a partner too. So if 1st house from Shukra is inside the woman, then Shukra must be woman. If 1st house from Shukra is inside the woman, then Shukra must represent woman energy. If 7th house from Shukra is the nature of man, then man must be opposite to Shukra. So from Shukra's viewpoint, man is opposite to Shukra, whereas woman is Shukra. And what is opposite to Shukra? What is opposite to Taurus? Scorpio. So if woman is Taurus, man has to be Scorpio. If woman is Libra, Shukra, then man has to be Aries. That is why men are created from Mars and women are created from Venus. And this is the derivation. The derivation comes from Shukra. Because sexuality is defined by Shukra and no other planet has that power. So you see, Venus and the Sun are Sthira Pitri Karaka. Venus is the semen and Sun is the Atman of the child. Interesting. So we have two fathers when we were being born. Now we are looking back. Okay, the semen came inside and that is how I was born. I see. But my soul also must have come with that, no? How come my soul didn't travel there? Okay, it came. But did it fully enter? It could not fully enter. Why? Because I have learned from Varahamira that it entered in the 3rd month. Achha, is there a derivation to that? There is a derivation for that. Someday I will derive it for you. Okay, now, so the semen part came from the physical body of my father because the physical body of father created it. So therefore, the 9th from Shukra must have a link to my father, a genetic link to my father. And 5th from Shukra will also have a genetic link to my son. So where do you see your father? The genetic connection with your father, the emotional connection with father. You and your father are emotionally connected. That connection is not coming in the 9th from Surya. It is coming in the 9th from Shukra. Similarly, the emotional connect by which you created your child. Why did that child come to you? Why was that child not born to somebody else? That emotional power by which that connect, which exists because of karma. Karma creates that emotional connect. That is created by Shukran. Surya. Surya has no emotion. Please get it right. Surya is the source of all Agni, all light, all knowledge. He is the library of libraries. When one is having such a big library, there is no time for emotion. Okay, so let us leave the emotional job to Moon and Venus. So the sun has no emotion. If the sun has no emotion, then how am I looking at an emotional connect between me and my father from Surya? I should not be doing that. I can see from Chandra. Why? Because Chandra started the pregnancy. So I can see the 9th from the moon to see father. Similarly, I can see the 9th from Venus to see the emotional connection with father. So 9th from the moon created the pregnancy, whereas 9th from Venus is the emotional connect. Okay, good. Moon and Mars are Sthira Matrikaraka. Moon is the egg and Mars is the blood, body strength of the child. The child's body strength comes from the mother. So from Moon and Mars, I will see my connection with my mother. Just from Venus and Sun, I am seeing the connection with father. Moon and Mars, I will see the connection with mother. And in both cases, there are two Agni planets, Sun and Mars. Sun and Mars are the Agni planets and Venus and Moon are the Jala planets. Have you seen that? Both Jala and both Agni planets are involved in the Sthira Pitri and Sthira Matrikarakas. Here, Sun is the source of Agni and here Mars is the consumer of Agni. Moon is the source of Jala and Venus is the consumer of Jala. How interesting. Do you see the interdependence that is created over here? So this entire interdependence of the source and the consumer is created right over here between Jala and Agni. And this Jala Agni connection, that is, see, Venus and the sun are not creating Gandanta, but Venus and Mars are creating Gandanta. Whereas Mars and moon do not have Gandanta, whereas sun and the moon will have Gandanta. You see that? Because Jala and Agni are having Gandanta. But with Jala and Agni, moon and the sun, Venus and Mars, these are the Gandanta pairs. So when this is happening, so you must understand the creation is coming because these two are separate. So the fire and the water are creating me. So therefore, if you look at this Sthira Karakas, 50% of me is Agni and the 50% is Jala. Venus and Moon are two planets, Sun and Mars are two planets. So Agni is 2 planet, Jala is 2 planet. 50% is Agni, 50% is Jala. So there is a huge Agni element inside Manushya. Manushya have this very, very powerful Agni content. That is the reason why Manushya are coming from Agni Rashi. Very strong Agni content. As a morning star, you see this morning star, the problem, it adds strong rajas to the morning. See, what is Shukra? Shukra is nothing but rajas, absolute rajas. Uncontrolled dancing waves on the water. Okay. And what it does, the morning energy is supposed to be sattvic, quiet, pure, nice, meditative. You are getting up, you are doing your puja, you are doing your mantras, you are making breakfast, good energy, you exercise, all nice. If this Venus has woken up in the morning, morning star, then this beautiful sattvic energy of the morning is fully disturbed. Huge emotion has come into play. Oh, where is my shoe? I can't find my shoe. Please quickly get my breakfast. I am rushing to the office. Oh, this thing is done. Have you seen that going to office rajas? Imagine a rajas like that happening at a very, very high level. Then it causes violence, greed, control, rule, like the Incas. You read about the Incas. The Incas would use the morning energy the Incas would use the morning energy of Venus, the rajas of Venus. Why? Venus has movement, no? So if you have to attack your enemy, movement is very, very important. In war, movement of troops is very important. For survival, you have to move fast. If you are stuck at one point, your enemy will get you. So movement is very important. They took this rajas energy of the morning and they checked the time when Venus was rising as a morning star, they will attack and destroy the enemy. So Venus is better off in the evening, no? Because why? You see, Venus is better off in the evening. In the morning, this rajas is not good in the morning. What is happening in the evening? In the evening, you are tired, you are very tamas, you want to calm, you want to, I'm tired, I worked the whole day, I just need to come relax a little bit. So I just want to go to sleep. So I come. At that point of time, imagine, put on a TV, have a little bit of entertainment, watch a movie, okay, maybe go to a party, maybe meet some friends. So nice, no? So all the rajas in the evening is good, not in the morning. Rajas in the morning is not good. You must be as calm as possible in the morning. So what did Lord Ganesha do? Ganesha was the smartest, He said, look, if I keep Mauna Vrata in the morning, I will not quarrel with Kartikeya. There will be no argument with the rats. Then there is no, so he kept absolute Mauna Vrata in the morning. Completely silent. He's silently eating, silently doing everything, silently does everything, does his pujas, meditation. Even the mantras he's doing upamsu or manasa. He is not chanting loudly. Quietly he does everything. Silent, quiet, goes off to the work. So Mauna Vrata he does in the morning. How intelligent. So that way, even if Shukra is rising in the morning, its Rajas will not catch you. Ganesha is very intelligent. So we understood another important part about Shukra. Now, a little more basics before I go further. It spins in the opposite direction of all the planets except Uranus. Uranus anyway is not in our consideration. All the planets have sunrise in the east. You see, in Earth, sun is rising in the east, setting in the west. We know that, right? Similarly, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Whereas Venus is rotating in the opposite direction. Because it is rotating in the opposite direction, that is why the sun is rising in the west and setting in the east. How interesting. So as far as time is concerned, Kala, time, Venus must be very, very strong in the west. Huh? For all other planets, the sun will be strong in the east, whereas Venus will be strong in the west, because Venus likes the west. Venus, the sunrise is happening in the west in Venus. If you are living in Venus, if you as a soul somehow manage to live in Venus, your sunrise will happen in the west and your sunset will happen in the east. Oh my God. So have you heard some people jokingly say, oh my God, I think the sun rises in the west? You know, jokingly they use that word. It is about Venus because that is where the sun rises in the west. Now think about it. Think about it. If sunrise is like life, sunset is like death. Again, I repeat, sunrise, life, sunset, death. Sunrise is where? East. We are on earth, no? For us. I'm interested in life for us. Sunrise is in the east. Life on earth is on east. Sunset, west. Death on earth is in west. But Venus has a peculiar power. Venus has a very peculiar power. He causes sunrise in the east, life in the west. Sunrise in the west, life in the west. So therefore, Venus has the power to give life in that direction where earth is showing death. In the west, the sun is setting. Human beings are dying. It is Maraka. It is Mrityu. Whereas Shukra has sunrise in the west, so it is having the power of rebirth, rejuvenation, recovery from disease. That is why Mrityunjaya mantra power is with Shukra, because the sun is rising in the west over there. West is 7th house, east is Lagna. East is Lagna, west is 7th house. So technically, Shukra is having sunrise in 7th house. If Shukra is having sunrise in 7th house, then Tula Rashi, the natural 7th house, must be a Rashi of Shukra. What was the first Rashi of Shukra? Taurus. What is the second Rashi of Shukra? Libra, Tula Rashi. Why is Tula Rashi? Because sun rises in the west in Shukra. What is the other power that is there in Tula Rashi? Tula Rashi has the power of Mrityunjaya, because sun is rising over there for Shukra. So therefore, Parashara says, whenever a planet is in the 7th house, it is like being in Tula. You must do Mrityunjaya mantra. Whenever a planet is conjoined the seventh lord or associated with the seventh house in any manner, you should do Mrityunjaya mantra. Why? Because that planet is coming under the influence of the western sunrise of Shukra. So now we learned why Mrityunjaya mantra was given to Shukra by Lord Shiva. Why Lord Shiva gave it to him? Interesting. And also we know that it is because Venus is rising in the west. So Venus energy is like sunset on earth, but that energy causes like sunrise. So imagine at the time of sunset, I'm having a new sunrise. So that is why Venus energy is fantastic in the evening. Now you know why. But the rotation of Venus is very slow. If we, for going or rotating around its axis, Venus is taking 243 Earth days. Oh my God. You send a letter to Venus. That means if today there is sunrise, after 243 days, there will be new sunrise. Oh my God. How many months is that? That is 8 months. So one sunrise to another sunrise in Venus loca, in Venus planet is 8 months. But that is the period of Ketu in Prashna. In Prashna we say that is the period of Ketu. So therefore Ketu and Venus are givers of marriage. How interesting. So from rotation, what is rotation? Rotation of Shukra means maturity. You are one day old. No? One sunrise is 1 day old. Tomorrow morning I will become another day old. Next day morning I'll become another day old. Is it not? Every sunrise is causing me to become 1 day old. So in Shukra, a person living in Shukra will take 243 earth days to become 1 day old. And that is the Prashna period for Ketu. It is called Prashna period. 8 months is the Prashna period for Ketu. And this Prashna period of Ketu is the rotation of Shukra. So now we know why 8 months is given to Ketu, because Ketu is also having the power to give marriage like Shukra. So two planets can give marriage. Ketu can give marriage, Shukra can also give marriage. Ketu is giving marriage because of Kulasya Unnatim, for the purpose of child, whereas Shukra is giving marriage for the purpose of companionship. How interesting. Very, very interesting situation. So that means love marriages are given by Shukra, because Shukra is emotion. There is an emotion involved. In the case of Ketu, it is more, okay, now I'm ready to get married because I'm getting old. My eggs are becoming old. I have to put them in some refrigerator. Other, I have to take it, a doctor will take out the eggs and put it in refrigerator. Nowadays they're putting eggs in refrigerator. Okay, becoming old, 40, I become 40, so I have to put eggs in refrigerator. So, this is, so I have to get married. So external conditions, other conditions other than love are coming into play in Ketu marriage. Father will say, you see, you have matured. You have to marry and immediately have a grandchild. I need to see my grandchild. So basically, you are getting married because you are having baby production power. And your father, because he has given birth to you, has the right to tell you that, look, I gave birth to you. Now you jolly well get married and give birth to another. Fantastic logic, no? Fantastic logic. But that is called Shukra's power. 9th house from Shukra is father, 5th from Shukra is child. So father is putting pressure. That emotional pressure is coming through Shukra, but it is Ketu, because basically it's headless. It is not logic. Because for you, it is absolutely headless. I don't even know the girl. You are going to choose the girl. I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to produce a baby. So it's like a machine. Anyway, maybe that is good. So very often in about 100 years back, 150 years back, people thought this Ketu marriage is better. Why? If a person is having Ketu marriage, it is very difficult to break that marriage. Why? Because to break that marriage, you have to fight with Ketu. Oh my God, Ketu is a deadly fighter, you know. So very difficult to break a Ketu marriage. Because firstly, Rahu will have a serious problem because Ketu is going to demolition. Among all the grahas, Ketu is the most powerful graha. He can demolish anybody he wants. Anybody he will simply demolish. He will convert them into atoms and he will put them in go into recirculation. Simple as that. So Ketu marriage is a better marriage as far as longevity of marriage is concerned. Shukra marriage is a better marriage as far as emotion is concerned. So for example, emotion can also go the other way. No, it's a yo-yo. Keep that in mind. Anyway, here's a list of the Prashna periods of planets in case you would like to know. What is very interesting is the order of the periods. Moon, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu, Sun, Ketu, Saturn. This is the order of the periods. Moon rules the shortest period. You see, it rules a Muhurta. Mars is Saptavara, 7 days. Venus rules a Paksha, 15 days. Jupiter rules the Masa, the month. Then comes Mercury, the Ritu. Then comes Surya, the Ayana. And then comes Saturn, the Varsha. Now, between Mercury and Saturn and the Sun, this Rahu, Ketu are interspersed because Rahu is ruling the quarter, which is 4 months. You see, Ayana is 6 months. So between the 6 months of Sun and 2 months of Mercury, Ritu is 2 months, is the 4 months of Rahu. Quarterly reports. Give me quarterly reports. Greedy Rahu wants quarterly reports. Okay. And then we have Ketu, 8 months. What is 8 months? See, whenever a financial year starts, to that you add 8 months. That is when you give up. Moksha, I'm done. I can't do anything. 8 months is somewhere after the second quarter, but before the last quarter starts. Let us say the financial year is starting on 1st Jan. So Jan, Feb and March is first quarter. You are stressed. The new quarter has started and targets are there. 3, 4, 5, then 4, 5, 6, second quarter. You're working very, very hard. Oh my God, second quarter is like you're gone berserk, but the results are not showing. The third quarter, this quarter is a very delicate quarter. This third quarter is having 2 months. 8th month is the second month of the third quarter. That is when you give up. So 8th month is when Ketu actually hits. That point of time, either you know very clearly at that point of time, before the final quarter, that is, when is the 8th quarter? Sometime in August, after August. So which month is that? That is the month of September, right? That is September. What is September? It is when you worship the Pitris, you know. Oh Father, oh this thing, I have to do Shraddha, otherwise I'm going to die like my father died, like my everyone died. The Shraddha time, you know, where you think that you are possessed. Okay, that is Ketu, right? The 8th month, when you give up. That giving up is Ketu. It's a kind of moksha in the corporate world. Kind of moksha. You know, you think that, okay, what will he do? He'll throw me out of the job. What else can he do? See, that moksha feeling will come. 8th month. Then 9th month will pass. Then from the 10th month, you again start fighting. 10, 11, 12. You fight like anything. 10th month is the rejuvenation of fighting power. Durga. October. See, October you get fully rejuvenated. Durga. Okay. Now You think of these months like this, Prashna months like this. And then finally, end of the year, what happens? Saturn depression. Okay. Now it revolves or orbits. It does parikrama around the sun. The sun is called the Devalaya. Why? Because it's like a temple. The sun is like a temple. It is Devalaya. What is a Devalaya? What is another name for Devalaya? Shivalinga. Another name for Devalaya? Shivalinga. Okay. So all the grahas are going around this Devalaya, this temple of the gods. Okay. So the sun must represent a temple because everybody does parikrama of the temple. That is why temples are ruled by the sun. You are supposed to go round and round. It is called circumambulation. This is a nice, beautiful English word. Circumambulation, parikrama. Now he takes about 0.615 Earth years or 225 days, roughly 225 days to go around the sun. Look at the time it is taking to rotate and the time it goes around the sun. So the Venus is going around the sun in 225 days, whereas he is rotating about his axis in 243 days. Very slow, going around and round. Now this 225 days is roughly 7.5 months. Please remember this. So the Venus is taking 7.5 months to go around the sun. So in 20 years time, how many times does Venus go around the sun? Venus is taking 7.5 months to go around the sun. So in 20 years, how many times will Venus do the parikrama? How many times has it gone around the sun? So for that, I'll do 20 multiplied by 12. That is the years, months, no? So 20 into 12 is the months divided by 7.5, which is the amount of time to do one parikrama. And I'm getting 32. So in 20 years, Venus is going around the sun 32 times. So Mrityunjaya mantra of Shukra has exactly 32 syllables. That is the Anustup Chandas. So did you see the mathematical derivation? Mathematical derivation of 32 syllables of Anustup Chanda, which is the Mrityunjaya mantra of Shukracharya based upon 20 years Vimshotri Dasha of Venus. How interesting. So Shukra follows Shiva. He's the Pratyadi Devta of the sun in Anustup Chandas. So how is Shukra following Shiva? How is, because he's doing parikrama of the sun. By doing parikrama, and how is he doing parikrama? He's doing it in Anustup Chandas as far as we on earth are concerned. From our earth time experience, we have a time experience. In our time experience, he is taking 32 parikrama in 20 years time. Therefore, the dasha of Shukra is 20 years and he is doing 32 parikrama in this 20 years. Absolute perfect match. Shukracharya follows Shiva. So we got the 32 in 20 years. The north-south poles are opposite to that of other planets. Another peculiar thing about Shukra. All planets like Earth and all have north pole going upwards, south pole downwards. Like our north pole goes into the Arctic, right? I'm right, no? Arctic. Yeah, Russia side, Siberia. And the south pole is going to Antarctic, right? All other planets have the north pole and the south pole in exactly the same direction, excepting our dear Shukracharya. Our dear Shukracharya is upside down. His north pole is in our south pole and his south pole is in our north pole. So from Earth, if Earth is me, if I am planet Earth and I am looking at Shukra, what will I say? Arey Shukra, why are you standing upside down? Your feet are on top and your head is down. You see? So in the Shiva Mahapuran they wrote, Tapasya of Shukra was to hang upside down and breathe smoke for 20 years. And that is when Shiva gave him the Mrityunjaya mantra, which was in Anustup Chandas. Think about this statement. This statement has an absolute scientific basis based upon the polarity of Shukra and the period of revolution of Shukra.